Welcome to the Nick and Matt Show, bringing the player interviews you want to hear and the hot topics you want to discuss. Recording live in studio, here's Nick and Matt.
I think we're live, episode 142 for our live audience. We apologize, 8 minutes late, but we're good. We did it. We won't blame it on anybody specifically.
No, it's me.
How's it going, Nick?
Dude, chilling. After a long weekend of traveling, stuff like that, I went out to Colorado, and then my flight yesterday got delayed about 6 times. So I was supposed to leave at 5 p.m., ended up leaving at 12 a.m., and got into Charlotte at 5, and then had to drive up to Virginia. And so, yeah, it was a long day.
I saw you on social media be like, yo, Colorado. And I'm like, Nick's in Colorado.
Yeah.
Like, was that disc golf related?
No, just a wedding out there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, we were at a wedding too, intern Ben and myself. Yep. Evan Kearns, everybody. We said he was getting married and he didn't run. He actually got married. So congratulations to Evan.
Evan did invite me to the wedding, but it was more like informal. He was like, I'm pretty sure you can't go because I think we scheduled the dates like wrong. And obviously it's not my part, but I had already made a prior commitment. And so I was like, oh, dang, I feel really bad. But I saw you guys had a really good time.
We held it down. It was funny because you know how you go to a wedding, you're like, which table am I going to be at? Like, especially like I'm not in Evan's circles like more than one, which is disc golf. Like that's the only circle I'm in. And he's like in a different part of even New England than I'm in. So me and my wife, intern Ben, you can pull yourself up 3 up tonight. Look at, and he's sitting in Evan's seat.
I'm in Evan's spot.
And Ben brought his girlfriend, and we're like, okay, we're going to be at the same table. Like we know that, like without checking, we know that. And it was funny because there was one guy sitting behind us in the ceremony, and I think he overheard us. He's like, I know nobody here. He goes, I'm a work friend.
From Orlando.
And I'm like, you're definitely at our table too. And one thing led to another. He heard the history of disc golf through.
Yeah, we got so passionate about that. That was so fun.
He wanted to know everything. And my wife and Ben's girlfriend were like, please stop talking about disc golf.
We were having a mini podcast of our own.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Evan's not here, so we're not getting the normal stat read down. It's going to be the Nick and Matt Show original 1.0.
OG, yeah.
But the good news is one Evan couldn't be here, but we've got another Evan lined up. Evan Scott just took down maybe he did, maybe he didn't. Spoiler alert. Evan Scott took down Zootown Open silver event in Montana, Missoula, Montana. And so we're going to have an Evan, even though Evan isn't here, we will have an Evan to hold it down tonight.
It's tough to replace Evan, but we'll do it with a different Evan who is extremely good at disc golf. And we'll get into that later.
Yes. We'll play a game. How many points better is Evan than Evan?
A lot.
A lot.
like hundreds.
Like hundreds, okay. Evan, if you're listening, which I hope you're not, you're on your honeymoon. But if you're listening, we love you.
We do. Good wedding. It was cute. Cute wedding.
Nice. Oh, another funny thing. We're standing there talking, like outside in this. It was a beautiful property, like a New England venue. You're outside looking over rolling hills of grass and trees and thinking, this would be perfect for disc golf. Just rip it right over where like the altar or whatever it was where they're getting married, that area outside. I'm like, oh, it'd be a perfect hole, Ben. Like, check this out. And then next thing you know, Evan's mother-in-law, now mother-in-law, then mother-in-law, like immediately following the ceremony, she walks up to our
Patty.
group.
I remember her name, Patty.
Shout out, Patty, if you're listening, because she comes over, she goes, I heard the voice and I had to come over and say hi. She's like, Nick and Matt Show? I'm like, no way. So even people who aren't into disc golf listen to this show. That's pretty incredible. So
yeah.
So where are we going with this? A little discombobulated. There's a lot that we're trying to cover here tonight. We've got some fun things lined up, though. I'll tell you that. So stick around. But Kristen Tatar takes down her 6th disc golf pro tour win. Number 6. Now, it's fun to look over the stats because she wins her 6th, but she also has 3 events in there where she doesn't win. And you're like, wow, 3? Like, it takes a little while to kind of look back at that, but 3 events where she does not win. But the cool part is Missy Gannon was making a push here, and Katrina Allen in the final round made a significant push, shooting the hot round to get her into 3rd place. Great to see out of Katrina because she hasn't been playing to her standards, and she keeps saying, I'm working on it. I'm working on my throws. My boyfriend Austin's like really working with me on form and things of that nature. Sarah Hokum making a strong appearance, 4th place at the silver event. You don't see Sarah in 4th place often, and for her to do it is really, I don't know what the right word is. Good for her.
Yeah, good for her.
Strong field.
That's a good word. Good sentence.
Good sentence, especially with Sai. So I'm not doing it the way Evan does, and people probably don't like the way I'm doing it, but like I'm just jumping all over because the way I'm thinking of it. Sai Ananda,
she's been doing good.
I thought this might have been her event again.
Yeah.
After round 2, she was in 2nd place, only a few strokes out. Maybe it was 3 or 4, but either way.
Yeah, she had brought the deficit after the front 9 in the 2nd round, I think down to 1 or 2, and then the back 9 just kind of slipped up a little bit, and then round 3 never really got it going. I think only shooting even or 1 under par that final round, but she definitely was making a push during round 2 at one point.
Yeah, Juliana Korver, a top 10, which back in 5 years ago, we might not have thought much about a top 10. I know I used to think most average FPO players, it's like, okay, cool. Top 10 is not that hard to do. Nowadays, it's a significant feat. And for her to have done it, again, another good showing over players like Hannah Wynn, who's been performing well, over Kona and Jessica Weiss. I'm just saying names that stand out to me from all the years past. Erica Stinchcombe. Yeah, I mean, again, good for her. And it was awesome to talk to her in that interview and figure that out. So that's FPO. It didn't give you any exciting numbers. You have to go over to Statmando to check out what they're putting up on this event. So Evan Scott took it down. We know that. But in an interesting way, this doesn't happen often, Nick, but we had a third round, a final round cancellation due to weather. Now, some people on the internet crying it's a bad call, shouldn't have happened. It's not they could have played it. They waited too long while it was raining instead of coming back. You know what? It's like, the backseat driver. It's easy to say, but when you're there running these events, there's a lot more to consider than half of us realize, or 90% of us realize. I think I trust that they made the right call. I know Seth Muncie is a big part of that decision as a safety, or used to do some of the safety stuff on site. Comes down to lightning play, but they canceled the final round, and the rules would be whoever's in the lead at the end of the previous round is the winner. Before we get into further conversation about how come they can't play out another round? Why can't they wait the next day? And all that conversation will come up later. Let's continue on. Clay Edwards, second place. If you recognize that name, good. I am not super familiar with Clay Edwards. Have you heard much about him, Nick?
No, name didn't sound super familiar, but I think one of the Carolina guys.
Yeah, good guess. I don't know.
North Carolina.
I think. Yeah, North Carolina.
Charlotte.
Yep, right out of Charlotte.
Okay, and then Anthony Barella. So Evan,
he was my pick to win.
Yeah, you and Evan both picked him. Yeah.
Yeah, it was Tatar and AB, and I thought, 5 strokes back going into the final round, and this venue was kind of cool because it was a par 59, only about 8,100 feet total length of the course, which is definitely shorter than what we're used to seeing out on the road, especially going from the Elite Series Plus event at the Portland Open and then coming out to this one. Definitely a huge change of pace. It was fun, the mountain views, the kind of super elevated shots, hole 1 being a big downhill shot. I definitely thought there was strokes to be gained out there, and I thought AB could make a push that final round, but Evan was playing extremely well. I mean, 100% Circle 1X putting, and I think it was 77% Circle 2 putting, and averaging over 1070 for the event. So it's tough to beat that in general.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so other names there, third place, tied with Anthony Barella, Ty Love, This is what silver events are about. I've said it all the time. I love to see a different crowd of players vying for the win than your regulars. Now, the interesting part is our regulars are averaging well through the season, but a lot of our regulars aren't regular anymore. Like, we aren't seeing Paul in the top 3 and Ricky in the top 3 and Eagle in the top 3. And, you know, I could just keep going on with all the top players. We are seeing Calvin usually in the top 3. I can give him that. But so we're seeing Ty Love. Another shout out here, James Conrad. I know it's a silver event, but James taking 5th place. Good job for him. And Nico in a top 10 at 8th place. So what's surprising about this event, just to shout out a few, is Gannon Burr, 8th place. He says he feels like he's playing, I don't know if you'd say great golf, but he feels very comfortable with his throws and that he thinks he's executing well. He says that he feels like it's the results after it releases from his hand, which is everybody's, but meaning like, hey, it hits the ground in a root, right? And it kicks a little bit further away, or on the way a gust of wind comes. He says he doesn't feel bothered with his actual play and release. So either way, 8th place for Gannon. Little surprising. Everyone has those off rounds. And other than that, nothing really stands out to me. I mean, there's a lot of names that are down further than they want to be. Adam Hammis coming off of a win to finish in 28th place. Just shows you how the fields are stacked up and different than it used to be. I'll put it that way.
Yeah.
So that's your FPO MPO Zootown. I think I would love to go and play that course. And I don't
that one looked awesome. That looked like a very, very fun venue to go out and play. Super enjoyable. Definitely fun to watch. I enjoyed it a lot on the MPO and the FPO side.
Absolutely. So we're getting ready here in just a minute to bring in Evan. But let's go ahead and talk real quick about, there was a lot of events going on. We're not going to do a full recap of Nokia, but we will jump over for the reason that at the Pro Forester Open, this is a Euro Tour event, as Evan would say, Evan Kearns, Statmando. This is not to be confused with the European Pro Tour event. It's a Euro Tour, and this is, I think, event 1 for the Euro Tour.
Yeah, number 1.
So there's a few notable players that you might recognize. One being Jakub Simrod. I'm trying to get my phone to switch here. And Scott Stokely, Silver Lot. I'm trying to see other names that one I can pronounce and two that people might recognize. But Paul McBeth, notably, taking down what is his second A-tier victory of 2023. And when I say it like that, it feels weird. Second A-tier victory of 2023. But he wins by 8 strokes. A win is a win. Shot the hot round. Oh, never mind. Almost the hot round. Hot round goes to Elias Luukkonen with a 12 down, and Paul shot a 10 down in the final round. Now, Paul did good. I'll just leave it at that. I hope this trend continues for him, whether it's over there or when he comes back. But good job.
That was also enjoyable coverage to watch. That is up on YouTube for post-round production for the Pro Forester. But I think one of the big shout-outs that we can take away from that event as well is Scott Stokely and Silver Lot punching their way into the European Open and the USDGC. They had 2 USDGC spots out there. So a huge shout-out to both of those guys for claiming those spots out on the road. And big shout out for Paul getting the first Euro Tour win of the year. We'll see kind of how it's, I think, another 6 weeks in a row that he's going to be playing these events. So we'll see how he keeps stacking them up.
Yes, absolutely. So we have Evan in our green room, but we're having a little bit of technical difficulty. And before we bring him in, regular listeners know that a few times in the past 5 months, we've probably been like, welcome to the show, and then we can't hear him.
Okay. I think we can hear him.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right.
I think he's good.
Intern Ben's feverishly working. That's what we pay him for. I said, Ben, this will never happen again. We're going to make sure we're good before we bring him in. So this is all on. Look, he's nervous. Intern Ben's nervous. Let's just go ahead and do it. Welcome to the show to Evan Scott. Let's see how this works out here. We'll bring him in. Just taking down, as we mentioned, Zoo Town Open.
There
Evan, hopefully you can hear. Yes, okay. He's nodding. Yes, he can hear us. Can we hear you, Evan? How are you doing?
Doing great. How are y'all?
Yeah.
We're doing very well. We can hear you perfectly.
Good. Thanks for working
Good.
with intern Ben behind the scenes. He's making sure that,
Yeah, he said test like 9 times probably.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Evan. Hey, congratulations is in order for sure on your first Disc Golf Pro Tour victory. Those words coming out of my mouth referring to you. How do you feel about this, man?
It's pretty awesome. I would have loved to like get to do it for a whole tournament, but I'm definitely gonna take the 2 rounds.
Okay.
But it's great.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, you bring it right up there on the front side. 3rd round, final round, canceled. You had, is it correct? I mean, as the results are right now, you had a
You had a 4-stroke lead.
Okay.
Yeah.
4 shots, yeah.
You're a competitor. I don't expect anything else from you, but you had no concerns holding it down in the final round.
I was definitely like a little bit nervous, but I was also very confident because I knew that course well and my game felt great. So I think I would have dropped another good round.
Okay.
What was it about the course and your game that was just feeling great that weekend?
My putting finally started to came together. Like every time I would get up to a putt, I just had this feeling that it was going to go in. And then the course just set up really well for my style. It's nice to not be on a golf course. Just a lot more fun, like kind of shaping shots rather than just throwing far.
We need to get a Pro Tour petition going. I think I've heard this out of Paul McBeth. I think I've heard it from Simon. I've heard it from Evan, and I've heard it from others. Really enjoying shot shaping, and the fact that maybe you're throwing a few mid ranges in there somewhere. So you mentioned coming away from golf courses. You like this. You said you knew this course very well. Just a minute ago, you said that. What is it about this course that you really liked besides just shot shaping? What stands out to you? And why did you feel so comfortable with it?
Well, I felt so comfortable because I got plenty of practice rounds in. We got into Montana on the Monday before, so I had all week out on the course to practice. And then the course, it just was a lot of I was throwing a lot of hyzer flip shots, which I feel like I can throw those really well right now. And there just wasn't a single shot out there that I didn't feel like I could throw.
Now, some people were talking about elevation. Was that a thing for you? Did your disc fly differently?
I didn't notice it at all. I didn't notice it.
There you go.
What discs were you leaning on? Because we were talking about earlier in the show, this was one of the shorter courses out on the road this year. What were you leaning on mostly?
I have kind of like a flippy ESP Buzz that I threw a lot, and then my Venoms and one flippy Force that were kind of the ones I was going to all weekend.
Okay, tell us about yourself, because we saw you now back-to-back weekends, or in the last few weeks, we've seen a fair amount of you, and that's pretty cool. What is it like, first of all, before we get to the question I was actually going to ask, what is it like with the live cameras being there on you, zooming in on your face, walking with you, the whole 9 yards? Does that change the feeling of your round?
Honestly, I like it a lot. It makes it a lot of fun. I feel like it's a lot easier to play well, like up on a lead card with cameras. But it's definitely like a change of pace having the camera in your face everywhere. Like as soon as you go to the warm-up area, there's just a camera on you.
So why is it that you think there's you said you have an opportunity to play better because of that? Like, what is that? Do you like to show off? Like, explain that.
I guess it might be something like that. It's just because if you're on a lead card, everybody you're playing with is going to play well. And I just think for me, it makes it a lot easier to play well if I'm watching everybody else play well.
I've always
you're playing with the best of the best. It's, more often than not, you guys are all going to be shooting pretty good rounds, and it's easy to feed off each other in that sense. Matt was kind of bringing it up a second ago, but I'm going to go through the last couple events. Beaver State Fling, 44th place, Cascade Challenge, 2nd place, and then 59th place at the Portland Open, and then 1st place for the Zootown Open. Just kind of talk to us what the touring life has been this year. You've hit a majority of the events, and is this something that you're pursuing for a career full-time or trying to do it while you have the opportunities?
I would definitely like to make this a full-time career. This is his first year going out for like almost every tournament. I'm in an RV with my buddy Jake Mon. It's been a lot of fun so far.
Okay, so you want to make it your career. How long have you been playing disc golf? People, I mean, all over the internet, they're guessing at your age. It's been said on live coverage, but you hear everything from like 15 to who knows what. But you're 18 years old?
18, yeah.
Okay, 18 years old. How long have you been playing, and how fast did you rise to excellence?
I started playing when I was 10 years old, and I think I played my first tournament in 2016. So when I was maybe 11 or 12. And then I won my first tournament later in 2016 at a junior tournament. But then I think I went pro after Am Worlds in 2021. So that was kind of, I guess, the time frame there.
Mm-hmm.
Am Worlds is a legitimate title. And I'm sure you feel that way. And I'm not saying that like people didn't expect it, but it's usually there are Am Worlds winners who have not gone and continued in the sport, but it seems like the further we get into disc golf current, those titles are mattering more because those players have the opportunity to go on and continue, quote, their career from that point. So you have that major title under your belt. You have this disc golf pro tour under your belt. What do you think it is going to take? Is there any reason you shouldn't win Worlds this year? Like, what's it going to take?
Just gonna take being a lot more consistent because, like Nick was mentioning, my my finishes from the last 4 tournaments. It's just it's very up and down. I think I just need to dial in figuring out how to play every single week rather than just every now and then. I think that's all it's gonna take.
What do you think? Go ahead.
I was saying I know that I can do it. It's just about doing it every week rather than having those off weeks.
What do you feel like in those off weeks? What are you struggling with the most?
Portland was definitely the putter. It was polar opposites on the green from Portland to Zootown.
Okay.
What's the strength of your game if you had to pick one thing that would, I don't know, this is kind of crazy, but would never change? Not that you're ever satisfied, but you're like, this is the strength. If I just had to keep this and plateau with it, I'd just keep it that way.
I feel like just hitting gaps in the woods, rather than a big bomber course, if you just give me some holes where not too long, but you got to hit a gap, hit the right angle. I feel like that's what I'm really good at.
I love it. That's what I'm saying. I want to see more of that golf too. It's extremely fun to watch.
Now that you've got the Silver Series win in the books, what are kind of the goals for the rest of the season?
Just keep playing how I did last week. Hopefully take down the Elite Series next. That would be great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Speaking of Elite Series, we've interviewed so many players over the years, and we've asked the question, how do you feel about silver or, elites or majors? And it sounds to me like you are ranking it that way. You had a pretty strong field. Is it the title more for you or the strength of the field?
I mean, I think the title's definitely great, but it would be obviously there were a lot of big names that weren't there this week. But yeah, I think it's definitely easier to win a silver rather than an elite, and then even that much harder to win a major.
Mm-hmm. What have you found now that you've gotten into the kind of touring? You haven't done the full season of it yet, but what has kind of been your favorite course or area to go to throughout touring?
So far it's probably either Smuggler's Notch or Milo, because I've been both those times, and those are definitely the best. Those places are awesome.
Yeah. Did you like the changes that they made to Milo this year?
Honestly, I liked playing both courses more, but I know I get why I didn't have a huge problem with it, but I really enjoyed both courses.
Yeah.
Awesome. Does the audience, the listening audience right now, live, I should say, do they have any questions for Evan to go ahead and put them in? In fact, we're not going to do it with Evan live, but we are going to take some live calls after this. So be thinking of topics you'd like to do. We've also got some other live ideas planned out. Nick doesn't have a clue about, but it's going to be awesome.
Nice.
Evan, so tell us just a little bit about yourself. Are you touring by yourself? Are you in an RV, or are you traveling with a crew? What does that look like right now?
I've been traveling with just one friend, Jake Mon, and so we got the RV at the beginning of the year. We've been in that so far.
How's that been?
I like it a lot. It's really fun. Obviously, there's some things that I miss about being in a house, but it's really cool to be able to stay at the courses or stay really close to the courses and hang out with people a lot more than we used to.
Mm-hmm.
So what's your favorite, I'm sure you tried to figure all this stuff out. What's your favorite food dining experience while on the road? Is there a go-to? Is it a tuna sandwich, or are you no, we go to McDonald's all the time? What is your food? How does that work?
We definitely go to McDonald's on the travel days. We're heading to Emporia right now. We hit McDonald's this morning, but
Nice.
Once we
get that steak, egg, and cheese bagel.
But we do a lot of tacos, some chicken, and eggs and rice, just stuff that's easy to make.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And when you arrive at your destination, you get in your practice rounds, you're breaking down for the evening to relax. What are you doing to hang out? Are you just scrolling social media? Are you playing games or fishing, or like what do you like to do?
It kind of depends on the night. Sometimes I'll just sit on my phone. A lot of times we'll go find some friends to hang out with, or me and Jake have been playing Mario Kart a lot recently on the Wii. So that's kind of
Nice.
what we've been doing now.
Nice. Who's better? I mean, I'm sure you're gonna say you, but
It really depends on the night, because like some nights I win everything, some nights he wins everything. So it's hard to say who's better.
okay. But when it comes to disc golf, who's better? Is that hard to say?
Jake's never been higher rated than me, so
There
I'd
you
have
go.
to say me.
There you go.
That was
He did have a very
unfair.
respectable finish this last weekend too, 7th place. So you can't shy away from that.
Yeah.
We see the shirt, we see the hat though. Team Discraft. How long have you been sponsored by them? And have you, what were you throwing before? How are you liking it? All those good things.
So I've been on Discraft since I got on the underground team in the beginning of 2021, and then got put up onto the tour team after I won Am Worlds. But I've been loving Team Discraft a lot. Like I always threw a good bit of their frisbees. They'd be kind of like mixed bag, but yeah, I've been liking throwing the Discraft a lot.
Hey, my favorite disc, and I'm not paid to say this, is a Discraft disc.
What is it, Matt?
The chat has to guess.
They know.
They know.
They know. It's a limited edition version.
It
of
is
it
a
too.
limited. Yeah, that's true. We should have. That's the most
Any,
accurate version.
Chipmunks. hate
Evan,
it.
any commemorative disc coming your way for this big win?
Not that I've heard yet, but that'd be awesome. I would love something
All
like
right.
that.
We got to get on Bob Julio.
Bob's
We got to call him
listening, I'm
out. Say,
sure.
Bob, come on, let's get it going, Bob. If you had to pick a disc to put a stamp on commemorating this win, what disc would you go for?
Maybe a putter plastic roach. That's what I've been putting with for the
Okay.
last more than a year now. So I think that'd be a cool one to have.
Okay. Man, we're just rifling through these, which is awesome. We're finding out so much about you. The live audience is pretty happy. They're excited to get to meet you and know you better.
I've got another one.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So you said you've been playing since you're about 10 years old, started playing tournaments 2016, turning pro, winning Am Worlds. Who are players that you've looked up to now that you're on the competitive level with all the players that more than likely you looked up to? Who was kind of your inspiration?
I would definitely say Paul McBeth, like most kids, was the main one. I watched him a lot, and like I remember watching Ricky and Big Germ back in like early 2015, 2016.
Do you try to emulate any of their throwing mechanics in your game?
When I first started playing, like I taught myself how to throw and everything just watching YouTube videos. I'd say it was definitely McBeth, but now I don't really try to. Just kind of whatever feels good. That's what I tend to stick to.
What is your, outside of tournaments and playing, practice rounds on the course, how do you practice?
Pretty much I'll just do like putting practice whenever we can get a basket set up or have baskets. So I don't really do field work because it's just boring to me. So all of my throwing happens in practice rounds, but I'll go out and like practice putt.
Your practice rounds, I've had the privilege of practicing with a lot of the best players in the world, and not me practicing like I'm trying to practice with them, but like playing with them while they practice. And I've recognized they throw, lots of shots on every tee pad. Then they'll just pick up their shots and go to a spot and play some approach shots. Is that what your practice rounds look like? Just throwing lots of shots?
So that's what I'll do for like the beginning of the week, first couple rounds. Like I'll throw a ton of shots and just kind of learn the course, and then maybe like the day before the tournament, I'll play like one shot and keep score and play it like a tournament round to really get prepared.
I find that interesting, not from a perspective of judgment at all, but my mindset, and I'm not a professional, and I haven't won a disc golf pro tour, but I don't like setting that standard of like, here's how I perform the day before an event, and then like, am I going to do it again? Because I always have that mindset. If I shoot 10 down today, what are the chances I do it tomorrow? But that's probably an amateur's mindset. Do you do that to kind of give yourself an idea of what you should expect?
Not as much like what I should expect. It's just more like once I feel like I've figured out what I need to do off all the tee shots, it's more like making sure if I end up in a bad spot, maybe like if I'm throwing a lot of shots, I'm probably not throwing from the bad ones. So if I do a score round, if I throw a bad shot, I have to play from it and kind of learn what to do from. spot on a hole.
Yeah, it's worked, obviously. We jump all over. We talk disc golf. We talk what you're doing after hours kind of thing. You started disc golf at a fairly young age. Did you do any other sports besides disc golf, and this one just stuck?
I did track and golf team at my high school before I went to an all online to pursue disc golf a little more, but those were never really serious. It was just fun.
And do you know, did you play golf long enough to figure out like what you would average over or under par?
It's definitely a lot over par. I know I broke 90 one time. I'm not great, but I'm not like horrible.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah.
just fun. Got nothing else to do.
Do you think, how long did you play golf?
Very inconsistent. I've played like maybe a couple times a year my whole life, and
Okay.
then over the last few years, it's become a little more common.
Oh, the last few years. Okay, yeah. I mean, the game of golf in a lot of ways transfers mentally, especially the strategy and how it plays out. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that's pressing here that we'd really like to
Well,
know. Go ahead, Nick.
Yeah. I mean, the next month, 4 tournaments in a row, all, 3 out of 4 of them are Elite Series events, one of them being a Silver Series event out in Kansas. Kind of talk to us a little bit about the expectations going into it. You have DDO, Preserve. What was the other one that I'm missing? Oh, the Des Moines Challenge. Talk to us a little bit, just kind of goals and expectations going into those events. Obviously, winning them is the number one goal, but realistic in the sense of I'd be happy with this.
I just want to feel like I played as good as I can. Like maybe some courses as good as I can isn't going to be good enough to win, depending on the field. But I want to feel like I didn't leave a bunch of strokes out there, and hopefully get some like top 20s in Elite Series would be great.
Okay, you just said something interesting. You said you want to play as good as you can, and I love that mindset. That's what we should all do. But you on the Pro Tour saying that, and then you said you're not sure with some field, like the competitive field, that you're good enough would be good enough. Where are we talking about? Is it the long bomber golf courses like we had at Portland Open, or like what are we talking about there?
I was definitely thinking about DDO because that course I'm not a huge fan at all. But oh well.
Is
Yeah.
that
That's what it is. Everyone's got to play it.
Yeah.
and so is that because of distance? Is that what you're referring to, or is it something else?
I mean, I've never really enjoyed playing, and like there's just a lot of artificial OB there, which you kind of have to do on a golf course. But it's definitely mostly because of the distance. Just feels like I'm having to throw as hard as I can in an open field. Just gets it's just not.
Let's play a little game here, Nick. It's called Judge That Disc Golfer, and we've only done it once or twice with a actual interviewed player. And we've seen his game. Don't answer out loud yet, Evan. We're gonna do this with the live chat, and don't answer out loud. But how far can Evan throw a disc? And Evan, there's no description to that. You can answer whatever you want to that. It's the farthest you've ever done. It's what you regularly do. It's up to you how you answer it. But we want to know how far he can throw. So I'm gonna. You can either write it down or just file it away right now so you don't change the number. And the chat's guessing. Ben, we're putting you on the spot. What do you think Evan's going to answer? This is tough.
I think he's going max distance. I think he's going to say 525.
Oh, you think he tops out at 525?
Well, no, not. I meant like max.
Yeah.
Not max distance line, like where he's like, and I meant like max like tournament shot. That's what I meant.
Tournament distance.
That's what I meant.
Okay.
I can see. Yeah.
Okay.
Obviously.
Nick, do you have one off the top of your head?
Oh yeah. See, I was going, hopefully I can kind of sway his answer a little bit more towards golf distance. And I'm going to say regularly he's hitting, 450, 475 when it comes to controllable.
What's your number, Nick? What's your number?
462.
Dang it. That's close. I was going to say 475, but I'll just spread it out a little bit more. I'm going to go like, he's going to say he can hit 500 if he rips it like on his rip, like of a drive. That's my guess. The chat, let's just throw out the highs and lows here. All the way down to 425, up to 580, 600, someone said. Okay, so we have a lot of numbers in there. Looks like the average is in that 450 to maybe 500 range. All right, Evan, we made you sit there quiet for a while as we talked about you with you sitting here. What would you say when we ask the question, how far can you throw a disc? And you give us a number.
I'd say, Matt, you were pretty close. Like, I can definitely push one up to 500, but it's consistent, like a golf shot around 470, 475.
Okay. So, all right. Good. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's, and what I say this every time people answer that. That is far. Nick, you would agree that's far.
Yeah. It's very far.
But then you hear people being like, oh, like I don't throw that far. I can only throw like 450. And I'm like, that's still really far.
450 feet on any local A tier, B tier, C tier is incredible distance. I'm sure 450 feet out of the zoo town was probably a very respectable distance. Maybe, Evan, you can kind of correct me on that. But 450 feet for a decent amount of course, you could go up to Smuggler's Notch throwing 450 feet, and you will have success up at Smuggler's Notch because those are two courses where you're not required to throw the 550 foot shot. Does it help if you can accurately do that? Absolutely. But this was actually a big Twitter debate. Probably a week or two ago, was just talking about the major distance in the game and how it's beneficial, but if you're not hitting it the way that you should, they talk about a lot of the distance throwers will say, you know, the further you throw, the more mistakes that can be made. And I'm like, yeah, I understand that. But at the same time, if you're going OB 150 feet further up the fairway than I am, then you have a much easier, you know, third shot than I have a third shot going 100, you know, OB 150 feet shorter. So there's pros and cons to it. Don't get me wrong. But if I could pick something to improve my disc golf game, it would be if I could throw an extra 100 feet, then yeah, there'd be, I think disc golf would be way easier if I could do that.
Do you feel like you've topped out, Evan? You're 18. Do you feel like you've topped out when it comes to distance? People are kind of asking like maybe how tall you are, if you know your wingspan. Like, do you feel like you've topped out?
Definitely not. I think in the next few years I'll start throwing. I think I'll be throwing farther every year for a while.
Is that?
I think.
Is that purely because from 18 to like whatever it is, 20, I don't know what the number is, you're still developing like as a human body? Is that what you're thinking? Or you think you're going to refine some of your abilities?
Honestly, I'm just like kind of basing off the past. Is like every year I've played, I've continued to throw farther than I did the last year. So I don't see any reason that it's going to stop.
Do you do any athletic training on the side while you're out on the road?
Not since we've been out on the road. Like over the off season, we would be like working out in the gym almost every morning, but not really once we've been on tour.
And before you went out on the road, did you have, you know, a regular job where you're able to save up X amount of dollars? I know you said you're traveling with Jake right now. Did you both kind of hit the same boat where you're like, you know what, let's pitch in on an RV, let's go 50-50 and travel the country and play? How did that kind of come to be?
So Jake's dad bought the RV for us, and we were just kind of like paying rent to live in it for now. So that's how we got the RV. But no, I didn't have like a job over the off season or anything, but we did some fundraiser stuff to make money for the tour.
Nice. What kind of fundraiser stuff? Where can people, you know, can people support you right now? Do you have any fundraiser discs, I guess, for both of you guys?
Oh, we do have fundraiser discs, nothing to buy online, but we got stuff we sell in person. And like over the off season, we ran a fundraiser tournament at our local course at home, and I'm sure we're gonna do like an even bigger version of that this winter.
Other sponsors outside of Discraft?
Yeah, I'm sponsored by Grip, and this company Drive Bags makes like chalk bags that are great.
They're in the chat.
Yeah, I was gonna say they've been in the chat all night hyping you up. Very cool.
So one last question from me, and we've kept you longer than we said, and we appreciate that. We know everyone's time is really valuable. But one more question from me is, at this time in the disc golf story of where it's come from and where it is currently, players like Simon and Paul and Ricky signing large contracts, this is more than ever for a player a decision to say, hey, I want to play professional disc golf. The opportunity is visible. Do you have any backup plans, or are you all in and just saying, I'm not even thinking about past this, I'm giving this a go for X amount of years, and then what would happen if you didn't achieve what you wanted?
As of right now, like I'm probably going to start taking some online college classes in the fall when next semester starts. So I guess that would maybe be the backup plan if disc golf doesn't work. Just go to college and get a regular job. But hopefully you don't have to do that.
What interests you, I guess, would be my next question. I said I had one, but that kind of leads there. Is like, what interests you that outside of disc golf? Are you an engineer mind? Paul McBeth has mentioned architecture. Other players like their things, music. What interests you?
I really don't know. I've been playing disc golf since I was and that's been like my mind has just been like professional disc golf since then. So I haven't even thought about it.
There you go. Disc golf is your thing, man. There's nothing wrong with that. Especially, like I said, the opportunities nowadays. Nick or Ben, do you have anything?
No, I think that concludes it on my side.
Wow.
I've got nothing.
Intern Ben's got nothing.
Chat loves when I say that.
Look, hit the 4-up button. Watch this.
Oh,
Boom. Intern Ben should be. There he is. See, now look. There you are.
what up?
Evan, we appreciate very much your time. You shouted out how people could support you. If there's any other ways now, let us know, or we'll just cut you loose.
If you come see me at a tournament, just ask me about some discs and I'll hook you up for sure. But thank you all for having me.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We'll talk to you another time. Keep it up out there. Thank you.
Congrats again.
Thanks.
All right.
Oh yeah, we got music this week.
I'm back in studio. It feels so good.
How was your work trip in general though? You were out in
super fast. Pretty much they fly me out to meet in a conference room at an airport hotel.
Nice.
We have a meeting all day. Then you get back on a plane and you fly back and you go, how much did they just spend to have us sit in a meeting all day, like to fly out here and all that? So, but it was fine.
Just Zoom. Come on.
Oh, we do Zoom, but this is one of those meetings where it's like, I'm all about remote, like virtual, all that stuff. But there is something that's more, you accomplish more when you have a group of the right people in the room together and you're sitting there all day.
If you had to give a 30-second explanation of what you do at your job, what is it?
I don't blast rocks, Nick. That used to be
Wait. Well, how about can I give an explanation and see if we're correct? It's a nice, fun little game. Ready? This is my idea. This is what I think it is. Matt, this is what Matt does. He does a lot. He's the creative director at an electric company, and he's a safety guy, and he creates these models to show people what not to do or to do basically when they're on the electrical post that you train linemen. That's what they're called. I think that's it. I don't know. That's my guess.
That was more exciting.
You're like the ideas guy.
There you go. They gave me a title.
I could always picture Matt, like when I used to do drilling and blasting, Matt would be the guy who just comes out of the work construction trailer with the white hard hat on and bust my balls about doing something wrong whenever he would say he's a safety guy. I'm like, yep, he's not OSHA, but he's someone who's going to tell me what to do.
That's right. They pay me money to make sure that people are safe. And now I'm going to get into a safety talk. Everyone's opinion on what is safe is a little bit different. So that's where the rub usually happens. Because Nick goes, hey, sir, Mr. Master, I don't feel like I'm being unsafe. And I'm like, you might not feel like it, but like, here's what we're getting paid to do and da-da-da-da-da. Anyways, innovation. They gave me a title, innovation coordinator. I actually have a very open-ended job that allows me to create a lot of different things to make our industry new and better. And some of that involves virtual reality. Like
it's cool.
I'm actually starting to work to create virtual reality simulations. And I was thinking, can we do this for disc golf? And probably could.
Right. What is this $3,500 Vision Pro thing that Apple announced?
It's going to change disc golf. Yeah, it's going to change disc golf forever.
How? So are you saying like I'll be able to put on those goggles and watch a tournament?
Yes. So let me give you a few rundowns on this. First of all, it's really expensive. The price point is because it's brand new. It's just like the iPhones are still expensive. I'm sure Apple product will still be expensive, but it is more focused on what we would say is augmented reality, which means that you're able to see this headset does a pretty good job. Some are saying the best they've ever seen in high definition, allowing you to see the real world where you are. So if you put them on, you would see, I could look to my left and I could see intern Ben, and I could look at my computer and see you, and like just as if I wasn't wearing a headset. Mm-hmm. But what the benefit of this Vision Pro is that they can put in your space virtual things, augmented reality. So instead of having a TV on the wall, this headset will make it look like you have a TV on the wall, but you can put your hands up there and you can pinch to zoom on your iPhone. You can make your TV bigger and you can make your TV smaller.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So we're about to be like Tony Stark in Iron Man, just be able to throw stuff around the room and enlarge it, shrink it.
If you're on an airplane, you can watch a large screen TV and you can make yourself feel like you're actually in a theater, like with the screen feels like it's 100 feet wide. And it's changing the way that people interact with the world around them. And the reason I mentioned about disc golf, if we go way back, Nick, you remember we were talking about, it was a funny episode. We were talking about like putting on a headset and you could be in a drone, like flying around the disc golf course. Remember that?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, people are talking about that now. They can already do it in virtual reality, but augmented is going to be different. To be able to have this feeling of sitting courtside and paying $10 to sit courtside at an NBA event, or being able to watch disc golf with a headset on. Some people don't like it, but I think the experience is going to be like unlike anything else. It's going to be novel. Maybe it's 10 years out. I mean, the product's here, but it's probably not going to be ubiquitous.
Iteration,
yes, it's not going to be permeating, everybody's using it, but it's a really cool product. Enough about Vision Pro. So here's what I want to put out there while we continue on a few other topics. First of all, can you put up the number, Ben?
Yes, sir.
So this number, text your topic. What I want you to do for our live listening audience right now is think of a would you rather question related to disc golf. I will give it for instance here, but then we'll move on from this topic. Would you rather get second during your 20-year career at Pro Tour events, meaning always second place during a 20-year career of disc golf Pro Tour events? At the end of the career, you never achieved a win? Or would you rather one world championship title, but you always placed outside of top 20 the rest of your career? Like, which would you rather? Always second place.
Always second.
Always second.
All day, every day.
For the whole career, 20 years.
Whole career.
You never got a win, but maybe you got second at every event.
I'm making money and I'm having a brand. No one's going to care about that one world championship.
Oh, Barsby.
Yeah, Barsby.
That's a
Conrad.
good example. Like, that's a good people. Yeah, people like denounce, like Barsby's the man, and people denounce him like, oh, like whatever, just one world championship. Same with Eric McCabe. I know that's a little further, but it's if you win one and people consider it kind of like a fluke, it's like people don't care. It's weird.
Okay, we've got a few coming in. We're screening them, thankfully.
We are.
Someone answered always second. Thank you for submitting your answer via text. How about you give us a would you rather? Submit a would you rather. We're going to move on to a different topic. But while you submit a would you rather to that, we're going to leave the number up there. We are also, not now, we will cancel the call. We will not take it. But in a little bit, we're going to invite you in to play a game with Nick, myself, and Ben. And it's a simple game. You'll probably enjoy playing it. You'll want to have followed, or in most of our audiences, the Disc Golf Pro Tour. You want to know at least this season. But go ahead. Submit your would you rather. Oh, here they go. Let's see. We're going to keep screening them.
Oh, they're texting it in. Okay, I was like, why is no one calling?
All right, here's a simple one. Would you rather play a course with perfect tee pads? Sorry, I'll get this right. Let me start over. Would you rather play a course with perfect tee pads, or like they say brand new baskets, but I'm going to up it. Baskets that are like perfect. You can't complain about it. They only splash out if you actually putt bad. Would you rather really nice tee pads or really good baskets? Nick.
I mean, obviously it all depends on the course, but I would honestly say I really prefer really nice tee pads.
Oh,
it's just something
snap.
where, yeah, I've never had an issue with any sort of basket. Like obviously some baskets catch better than other ones, but for the most part, the way I putt, my putting style is it's not too hard. It's a decent spin putt, and it usually doesn't spit out too often. So most baskets catch it pretty well. But yeah, it's very noticeable when you play a course with crappy tee pads. I think I would prefer tee pads.
It depends what the tee pads are, because he said perfect, or she. I don't know who this is. If you give us your name, I can say your name. But perfect tee pads. So is it just like, we're getting
what is
like
a perfect tee pad?
Exactly, non-perfect.
Yeah.
So it's your vision of perfect. But my thought is, if it's like slippery wet, then I want a good tee pad. I don't want a slippery wet one. But if we're just saying like even artificial, like a natural tee pad, it's Dave. Shout out to Dave D. If it's just like a natural like earth tee pad, here's the deal. I want a basket that always catches and I never have to have heartbreak. And I don't mean like if I putt bad, it catches it. Well, even that, if it's a good basket, it will. But I'm going to go with the good baskets, because the literal heart-stopping heartache when we see what happened to Aaron Gossage last week, it just kills you in that moment. I'll deal with a tee pad. What do you think, Ben?
Yeah, I'm same with you. My whole train of thought was like tee pads that aren't perfect are still good tee pads. He's not saying that's going to be like a terrible tee pad. And I think I'd rather just a perfect basket because there's just been so many times when I've putted and I've just got robbed. It doesn't happen as often, but it's happened a lot sporadically where it's just like where it's just
see
annoying.
A better tee pad though puts you closer to the basket potentially.
But it could
saying.
It could be a great tee pad, not a
Just
perfect tee pad.
We talked about this.
I'd rather a perfect basket all day, every day if it'll catch my good putts. I don't care if it catches my bad, but like Prodigy, whatever they're called. If I putt like if I don't putt in the center on a thing, if I even putt right or left, it'll just spit out. So
that's because you have a flat putt that's 50 miles per hour.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It's just like
all right, moving on.
Annoying.
And again, if you send us your name following up your text, we'll call you out or shout you out that you got us something we're reading.
Would a perfect basket have caught Paul's almost ace out of his last tournament? Did you guys see that?
I don't think so. It came in just shy, probably 6 inches shy. It tickled the chains on the front side. It hit the basket.
Was it the front or the back side?
I think it was the front.
It was whatever.
Didn't it
the
land in it?
The disc was literally in the basket.
It was
had
front.
so much speed and spin on it that it just
it hyzered into the front of the basket. So it just barely hit chains, but it hit the bottom. It literally hit the bottom and bounced out the back. So Kevin, shout out to Kevin. Would you rather beat Climo? And I'm gonna they can paraphrase this or give me details if they want. Is it today, right now? Or is it at their prime like we're playing them? That's what I want to know, Kevin. Is it today or is it when they were at their prime? Both of them. And I guess I'm saying Paul's not at his prime. That's not fair. Maybe he's going to explode from here on out. But if we're saying it's today, right now, it's Paul McBeth. I don't think there's a question about it.
Wait, so what was the actual question?
Would you rather be Climo at World Championships or Paul?
Paul.
If it's today, right now, it's Paul. I mean, I know it sounds funny, but if it's at their peak, when they were both at their peak, like Grand Slam year for Paul, and then he wins his 6th World, all that stuff, and now I'm going to play. And back then when
it's
Climo,
still Paul.
Yeah,
I still choose Paul. And I think the biggest... Yeah, I think the biggest reasoning for that...
Is there a way to make it where you would ever have said Climo? Back in the day when Climo was winning and you were back then and Paul wasn't a thing yet, you would have said Climo. But now because Paul. Yeah.
If disc golf back then was as big as it is now, then maybe you could say Climo because he was popping off, win after win after win. But I mean, look at Paul. He had a stretch of 4 years straight, and then got the 5th one in 19, and then got the 6th one in 2022.
I think it's Paul every time. They texted up. They said at their prime is what they're saying. And I think
Paul,
how cool would it be though? And now I'm just having this disc golf fantasy. I'm like, guys, I beat Climo at the World Championships. That would be legit. That at their prime. For me to be like, yo, I beat him at his prime. That would be
who beat Climo in his prime, Matt?
Yeah, I know. That's what the problem is right now.
Who beat Paul in his prime? Yeah, who beat Paul in his prime?
I was just gonna say, but that
those players because we're in the sport right now, and that's we all got into the sport later. We are the Paul McBeth era. We weren't the Ken Climo era. But at the same time, you can look at each year and say, in Paul's prime, let's say from 2012 to 2022, in the last 10 years, he's gotten 1st or 2nd at each one of them, and right off the rip the players that I've beaten him. So,
all right, here's another. We're gonna pick this up just a little bit here. If they look good, I'll read them. Again, if you submit your name, great. If not, we'll just read it out. Would you rather have a bag of all mid-ranges or all drivers?
Mid-ranges.
Ben? You had to give up one or the other.
This is just lifetime or year?
Mm-hmm. No, lifetime. You got to play with one or the other.
Oh, drivers, 100% drivers.
Give up or play with them?
Oh, play with them.
Okay, wow.
I'd stack the drivers because technically,
and then we'll go to cogs.
Technically, there's the 6-speeds are technically considered drivers, but they're more like a mid range.
No, we can't. You can't include.
No, we're saying let's say speed 10 and above, and then
gonna say 10 and above.
Yeah. Here, how about this, Ben? Ben, the next video that we film when I'm back in Massachusetts, we'll do this.
We throw mids.
We'll go to Buffinville. You throw all drivers, and I'll throw all mids.
Yep.
Buffinville's Yeah, that's not a great example.
I'm literally giving you a course that's wide open. You cannot get more wide open than Buffalo.
I feel like that's a good front nine, back
that's
nine.
That's Ben's binky. That is his course, his blanky. Like, he loves that.
No,
course.
yeah, I don't know what
Shout out to Dave
tough.
Chandler, by the way. There's a reason he loves that course.
I don't know. If it's 10 feet and above, I'll go mid-rangers, honestly.
Okay. Good. Oh, and that was Kent.
Chapman.
Is that Kent C, I'm assuming. I don't know many Kents. All right. A or B? They really wrote this one out for me. This is Matt, and they did 1 T. I'm Matt with 2 T's, but here we go. Only ever play in the rain. I already know I'm picking option 2. I'm already picking. I don't even know what option 2 is, but I'm picking option 2. Or only ever play offhand. Yes, I'm throwing left-handed for the rest of my life if I don't have to play in the rain. I hate the rain.
No.
What are you doing? Rain or opposite hand?
No, I'm playing in the rain the rest of my life. I'll play in the rain every single day before I ever try to get good with my left hand, dude.
Yeah, I'll do rain
dude,
too.
I am so unathletic when it comes to trying to throw lefty.
I tried the other day so bad. I don't even know how people do it.
Man, there's not a chance. There are nice rain days where it's like warm enough and like enjoyable, but like most of the time, I'm thinking, welcome to the jungle event we did. It was 43 degrees and raining, like miserable. That's the last
no. That was you're talking about Meadowbrook. I thought you were talking about Cog. Yeah, that was not fun at all.
Okay,
at all.
That's what I'm thinking.
You will never be as good with your left hand as you are with your right hand.
Probably
and so
not.
Let's say right now, Matt, you're 950 rated, whatever.
Yeah.
You will probably never crest over 820
no, come
if
on.
you as a lefty. I swear to God.
I wish there was a forced reason for me to do this, or like somebody put up the money. They're like 10,000 if you can reach like 950 lefty. If somebody told me that right now, and I don't mean just like told me it like empty, but if they said, Matt, 10 grand, if you throw left-handed and actually like achieve a 950 rating, I think I could do it, Nick. I would do it. I would figure it out and I would do it. I don't know how long it would take me.
Yeah. Like Eagle is what, 1040, 1050 rated, whatever. Eagle, if he played lefty the rest of his life, I don't think he gets above 1,000.
No. Maybe 940. I'd say 940.
1,000 is a different level. I agree. Okay. Last one.
And if he does get above 1,000, then I'm done playing disc golf because that's just embarrassing on my part.
Okay. Some funny ones here, and I'm trying to decide how I want to read this. Adam from Pin High Disc Dies. There you go. Free shout out.
Yeah, see, if you text in, you get free promo. So why don't you text in? There you go.
Would you rather, this one's a little bit detailed here. This is the last one. Would you rather make 30% from Circle 2? Not too good. I guess acceptable, but not too good.
It's acceptable.
Yeah. Or have 2 throw-ins from outside Circle 2 per round. Easy. It's B. Throw-ins.
That doesn't even correlate. It'd have to be like 60% from Circle 2. Obviously, we're going throw-ins. I mean, like, I could get 30% off. I could get 30% just like me now. Like, I don't need that 30%.
And I'm going to detail this way too much, but I mean, it's if you're putting 10 times from Circle 2, then you've made 3 of them. Yeah. You know what I mean? So from 18 holes, you're making what, 5 or so? So, I mean, I'd honestly, if you're putting from Circle 2 18 holes out of the round, which obviously isn't a thing, but I'd probably say 2 throw-ins.
Yeah, throw-ins all the way. We can all make 30% from Circle 2 right now.
I'm laughing because I was doing too much reading of the text. I actually didn't see the chat. I'm sorry, chat, but there's some funny ones in here. Someone's like, no way, Nick, you can learn lefty and get decent. They're like, maybe not 950, but way higher than 820.
I will go out and play around, and I don't practice lefty ever, but I'll go out to a short course in Massachusetts and I will play the whole round righty, and then I'll do a filmed round completely lefty. And I bet you I'm 50 plus strokes worse throwing lefty. I think at minimum.
I've done, hey, for those of you who are interested, and you may or may not be, you might have heard enough of me already, type in Maple Hill Lefty Challenge, AJ Risley, Matt Graham. There is a filmed round, AJ Risley, Matt Graham, playing Maple Hill. My claim to fame is that we went into like a triple overtime. We took it up into the Maple Hill game room, played air hockey, skee ball. We had to decide it somehow. Eventually, AJ won. But my highlight was throwing over. This is for real. Over hole 8. Okay. If I gave you a disc right now, Nick, hole 8 white. So everyone knows hole 8 at Maple Hill. It's over the water. Now the gold is significantly farther, 100 feet further at least. But white is borderline. What is it? 280.
Something like that.
Yeah. And it's over water. The pin's like 15, 20 feet over past that. I went lefty and I parked it. And I missed the putt because I had to go lefty from like 7 feet and I missed the putt. But like, that was awesome. So it can be done, but I don't know how consistent I'd get. Okay. Moving on from that, we do have a few other topics, but what I would like to do is have intern Ben screen some people here. So we can do that through text messaging. Let's come up with a question we want them to answer, and you just decide whose answer you like the best.
Okay, cool.
Okay, and that's who we're going to bring in. This is to play a game with me, Nick, and Ben called Better or Worse Than. And this is going to be taking a player, and the problem is they can cheat. So we're going to have to do their honor. Nobody look right now. I'm not telling you the game anymore. It's done. I just realized they'll be able to cheat. So I can't say anything else about the game. But text in, what's the question you're going to ask, Ben? Like tell a story. No, it's got to be short. They have to text it to you.
Text in.
Favorite food?
Oh, text in. Oh, no. This is, should we do the office thing we were talking about?
Okay.
Yesterday. Okay. I'm just going to say it. You don't know what I'm talking about. So from the office the show The Office with Michael Scott, Dwight Schrute. If we were in the office, who would we be basically? So text that in and then we'll have you call in and say why. Like for example, like Nick would be Pam. I'm just saying that. But like
nice.
If we were in the office, who would we be? And why? So text that in and then we'll call in to see.
Wow.
We had a little discussion about this yesterday. That's why I'm bringing it up.
Who is intern Ben? Who's Matt? You don't have to do all of us. You can. If you do, you might get in easier. But intern Ben's going to be browsing these.
Yes.
When we get to the game, we'll say, Ben, who was it? He'll say, and then we're going to call you and bring you into the game. And the game is going to be played live with us. We haven't prepped for this. I have. Nick and Ben haven't prepped for this. And it will be a live game where you get to play with us. And it should be pretty fun. So go ahead and submit. At least it's in the text, everybody. That's how you're going to get in this. Submit and then we'll call you. I see people in the chat doing this. Once you pick intern Ben.
I'm going to be honest. I've never watched a full episode of The Office.
No, me too. We were just talking about it yesterday.
And so many people are obsessed with it, but it's just for some odd reason it's never.
I'm going to give them another option too. That's probably going to be like bonus. Like if you see the right answers, Ben, or you like the answers, you'll go. Option. The other one is text intern Ben what your favorite food is. If he likes the same food as you, maybe he picks you. Yeah. This is a chance to get into this game, and I think we're going to give something away. I don't know what it is yet, but we will give something away. And we just
want you to text us.
Yeah, just text, please. Text us. Nobody wants to play
like
this game.
You get free promo of your name.
There you go.
You have to text it.
Nice.
There you go.
Right?
Yeah. All right.
Like you get your name.
Text your Instagram handle.
If not, we're calling Simon Lizotte. Now no one texts us. They're like, call Simon. All right.
Did you actually hit up Simon to say, hey, we might call you?
No, but it'd be pretty funny. We're like, funny. You're live.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's talk a little bit while we wait for some of these to come in. Weather cancellations and what this means for the sport. This happened before. Where did this happen before? Was this Calvin
2016
and Ricky?
USDGC.
Okay.
And then Calvin and Ricky at Ledgestone 2 years ago.
Yep. And what happens every time the Pro Tour decides to cancel a final round? What happens in the world?
What do you mean?
I just mean I see people get so upset.
Yeah.
Where do you think that comes from?
And this is a question for the chat. What do they do in golf if Sunday is canceled? Do they play on Monday if it's a PGA Tour event or a major? Do they play it on Monday and finish it, or after the 3 rounds is it canceled? I'm genuinely curious. I do not know, and so I'm curious about that. But I think in our sport right now, everyone's travel day is Sunday right after the tournament or Monday the next day is when everyone is getting up and going onto the road. We were just talking to Evan Scott earlier. The next 4 weeks is 3 Elite Series events and then a Silver Series event. Excuse me. The next 4 weeks are DGPT events, just back to back to back to back. So that Monday and Tuesday that you have, those are travel days. I think a majority of those events are only 3 days, so that's not the worst. But I don't think right now we have the luxury of being able to say, hey, Sunday got canceled, we're going to play it on Monday now. I don't think we have that yet.
You know, I peruse the social media and find people with interesting opinions on this. And some say, well, like, hey, like this is their job. This is the Pro Tour's job. Like these people are full time doing this. But you got to look at these events are bringing in 90, 100, 120 volunteers to work these events. And having volunteered, Ben has, I have, Nick, you've played a lot. It's not an easy commitment to be like, yeah, we can all show up the next day. And that would be like in spur of the moment trying to make that decision too.
Yeah.
Now, could they plan this in and say, we've talked to us before, could they plan it in and say, hey, let's do our elite events on Thursday, Friday, Saturday? You could do that and always plan on Sunday as contingent, but that
they've done that for USCGC before where they started on Wednesday and then went Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So, I mean, it has happened to where they'll change the scheduling like that a little bit. That's not my favorite way to kind of fix all this and then have Sunday as kind of a standby day. I wouldn't say that's my favorite way to do it, but if you were to actually logistically look and say, what is a good way to do this? That honestly is a good way, is changing the schedule. Go Thursday, Friday, Saturday for 3-day events and go Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday for 4-day events.
I think it shortens up the week because of the schedule. And I'm not totally opposed to that, Nick. When you were making that point about, you know, it's a travel day, this and that, I'm like, well, every now and then a wrench gets thrown in things and you have to work to adjust to it. And I don't think it happens all the time. But I guess where is even Evan himself said, I wish I had that third round. And I didn't press in a lot there. But like, it almost feels like, and I know people feel this way, I don't think Big Germ, he might have talked about this, feeling this way of like, I didn't actually deserve the title. Like you have to almost be like convinced to believe it because, well, we didn't have to play the final round. And I know it's not the way it was scheduled, but if someone told you, hey, there's a 2-round event to win the USDGC and you were best after 2 rounds, did you earn it? Obviously you did. The problem is people are planning on the final round and then it doesn't happen.
Okay, so then take 2020, the year of COVID. We were all in Waco, Texas, hanging out, and then I think Wednesday or Thursday of that week is when a majority of all the other sports leagues in the world had started really shutting down. We started on Friday, and then after Friday's round, we all knew that Saturday was going to be our last day. And so Colton won an Elite Series event, but it was a 2-rounder. But everyone knew that Saturday was the final round for that tournament. And so then you can say, okay, so his win is not an asterisk win. Everyone knew it. Paul knew it, and Paul was in the lead at that tournament. Colton came back from the chase card. But USCGC in 2016, like you're talking about with Jeremy Colling, I mean, dude, a win's a win. This actually, last year when I was up in Massachusetts, we were playing the 501 Sunstein Open. And after the first round, we had a rain delay, and we were sitting there, or it was a lightning delay, and we were sitting there for more than a few hours at that point. And I was like, you know what? Harry Chase and I were tied for the lead, and I was like, I would not be mad if this round stopped. Like if we weren't allowed to finish round 2 and Harry and I won the event because there was 2 Green Mountain Championship spots up for, you know, that was one of the qualifiers for it. So I was like, hey, if that's a way to get it, then I get it. Great. If not, then so be it. So I don't know. Like Evan was saying, he would have loved to play that final round, but it is what it is. A win's a win. In 20 years, Evan's going to be able to say, yeah, I won a Silver Series event, and no one's going to question whether it was 2 rounds or 3 rounds.
All right, we got someone.
Okay, great. We'll get to him in just a second. I think that was a fantastic point, and I don't even need to enhance it, but I just wanted to comment on it. If you know it's the last round, that's the differentiator. Now, did people did they go into round 2 seeing that the weather tomorrow could be super turbulent? You would think so. If you're a professional player, you probably look ahead and plan a little bit. So I kind of believe, and I didn't ask Evan this, did you go into that round 2 thinking, hey, there's the potential that tomorrow's rounds get canceled. Like, I better play hot fire today. I think that's where people want to know, because you're right. Strategy changes a little bit when you know that you have another round. You're not going as absolute hard as you can.
But at the same time, I mean, every player out there is trying to play their best. Clearly, like, they want to go out because if they're playing their best, more than likely a majority of these players can win a tournament when they are playing their best. Now, players will say it's better to shoot well round 2 on Saturday because Sunday could be potential bad weather. So you're giving yourself a higher expectation of, I want to shoot better so that tomorrow maybe I have more strokes to give away if need be. But yeah, I mean, whether it's perfect conditions or it's going to be pouring rain all weekend, everyone is saying, you know, I want to shoot the best that I can shoot. I want to shoot the hot round all 3 rounds or 4 rounds, whatever.
Yeah, exactly. All great points. Thank you, chat, for joining along. Those listening in your car at work, what are your thoughts? Comment, let us know. Find us on social media or on YouTube. I don't think in the near future it's going to change, as in like this year it's not. They're not going to come up with any contingency. The next year, no. It's so rare that until they have a staff of volunteer, that's an oxymoron. Until they have a staff where they can make this work. The PDGA's paying officials, or the Pro Tour is, and like whatever else, right? Like, this is people's jobs. Like, that's an interesting idea. So the volunteers that we bring into each local event from the locale, from that area, what if one day there's like a traveling, I don't know what you call it. Like, it used to be band groupies. Like, it's a traveling tour where like intern Ben and myself and others, like, we could travel, like we could tour, but it's as like volunteers not volunteers. We get paid for it on staff. That would be interesting. I don't think that would change too much as far as like the event cancellations, but look, it would put you in a better spot to do that.
Yeah. Let's say this past weekend, they were like, hey, we're canceling the round on Sunday, but everyone's got to play Monday. You could play the event with no volunteers. You really could. Majority of the volunteers are made up of spotters, and there's obviously volunteers are the most incredible thing that happened in our sport, and I'm thankful for every single one of them who go out. Majority of them are spotters on holes. Some courses require spotters a lot more than others. You can look at the Great Lakes Open, the toboggan course. Every single hole there has spotters on it because it's so difficult sometimes to find your disc with all the elevation and blind shots. But you could finish a tournament on a Monday. If the Pro Tour decided to go that way, you could play this tournament and have a lesser number of volunteers. There will still be people who will show up for it, but you could finish the tournament. So we can't say spectators is the only reason why. It's just right now in our sport, it just doesn't work like that yet.
Interesting. And this is going to cast shade at the Pro Tour, and I have no intention of actually trying to like do that, but just for conversation's sake. It's rainy. It's like, we already know where we're going next. This is a silver event. All of this is going through their minds, and it's like, this is pretty miserable. Like, does anybody want to stay? They're bouncing around everything, and they're probably just like, yeah, let's just cancel. And again, that's casting shade. I know these people are making the decisions. They take their jobs seriously. They're making the best ones they can for both the safety of the players and the tour. And I think it's fine. I think it's totally fine. And Evan played the best 2 rounds in a row, and he had a lead.
Yeah.
Who knows what he would have
done. He was averaging over 1070 rated golf. I mean, if you do that one more round, more than likely he would have won that event.
I think he could have.
Yeah, I think he had a damn good shot the way he was playing and putting incredible. So
he said he was a little nervous, but that's normal.
Yeah.
But like, that's just normal. But I mean, in my head, I'm like, he's probably thinking to himself, man, I have a lead. I have a chance. Imagine those nerves. That'd be pretty epic. Yeah. All right. Do we have somebody lined up?
Yeah, I'm gonna call them.
Okay.
You want me to call them?
Go ahead and call. Tell them to sit quiet because we have one more topic to do.
Okay.
But get them lined up. Okay. Are we hearing the ringing?
No.
I'm hearing the ringing.
You are, but
okay.
Do you want me to change that?
The chat doesn't.
That's fine. Okay. So the question we have, not for the live audience. I mean, not for our caller yet. Caller can sit tight. What's going? Can they hear us? Can you hear us, live caller? Maybe.
No, I muted it.
Oh. Anyways, he's saying hello. He's asking. All right, we'll get this right. We haven't done this in a while. But to the live caller, just sit there tight for a minute. We have one more topic. Nick, so what's going on in MPO? As in, like, we've watched the season play out. If you had to choose the next breakout winner, who are you going with? And I MPO can start the conversation, but FPO is obviously interesting as well. Breakout winner. They haven't won yet. This would be their breakout win and performance. You know, who are you going to pick in the MPO field?
Anthony Barella.
Dang it. Same I was going to choose.
Yeah. Dude, I want AB to win so bad. He's been playing such an incredible season. We briefly got to talk to him last weekend. I've talked to him when I was out at Music City this year, and he's like my guy to where I just want to see him get that win. Bag switch this year, you know, seems like he's playing incredibly consistent right now. He keeps saying where he's like, he has that one round that he ends up now losing the tournament by 3 or 5 strokes or whatever, but he's playing extremely well. And yeah, he's my guy to do, like, have that be that next breakout win. I think second would be Goose. Yeah.
I love me some Goose. I've been saying every time he's about to win, I'm like, dude, I'll buy a jersey if Goose wins right here, and then he doesn't. So it's so sad. Goose wins, so I can buy
I'll throw out 2 other names, and I don't know. It's like, you know, the odds on this. I don't know. Chris Clemens. I would be impressed, but not surprised if he had a tournament where he's on the lead card and then he squeaked out a win. I'd be like, dang, I know he's a good disc golfer, impressive, but not surprised. So I think Chris Clemens is a name that I would actually choose to possibly get that. That's a wild horse. Like, we wouldn't like pick him to win, but I wouldn't be surprised. And then the other is Gavin Babcock, man. That's another one. He hasn't had the win yet, right? He's had some good stuff.
He's played well, but yeah, he hasn't capitalized on a big win yet.
Yeah, and that's another name where I'd go, I'm impressed, not surprised, because I know the talent's there, but he'd have to play, not out of his mind, but he'd have to play everything as good as he can.
Mm-hmm. Mine's Ezra Aderhold. That's my breakout player of the year.
He's an interesting one. I feel like he had a breakout season, like 2 years ago, 3 years ago?
He did good at Vegas, and that was, like where he was like in contention to win.
Was it a fluke?
Mm-hmm. I mean, he didn't win, so it doesn't even matter. But I think he's coming very close to winning.
Oh, dang.
You just got to get it locked and loaded.
So in the chat, someone says they got Brody. That's a player. I don't have enough things to say about how he has stepped up into the disc golf world and performed at the level he is. I, on record, said how wrong I was after making the, quote, hot take 2 years ago when he was first coming in. I was like, he won't ever break top 20. And I thought that line was pretty close, but I thought I was pretty confident there. Mm-hmm. Well, he really, I mean, I said this last year or whenever it was, 2 years ago. I said, well, I was wrong. Absolutely wrong. Impressive play by him. Again, I don't think I'd be surprised, but I'd be very impressed to see him win, as I am with most players.
Mm-hmm. I'd be impressed.
Impressed.
I think it would surprise me personally.
Surprised because you don't think he has the ability.
I think he has the ability, but I think he's exceeded everyone's expectations. I think he went from that YouTube guy where like, bro, you're only here because you're popular from YouTube. You played with Duper Perfect. Like, get out of here.
One time he played it. No,
yeah, but now it's
amazing
like,
race.
He's legit. 100%. He's legit. He can contend on tour, but I don't think right now. I just don't see him winning, and it would impress me a ton if he does. I'm already impressed with him. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But for him to win, it would be like, wow. Like he started playing like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
So like it's
it
like
would
crazy.
be epic. It would.
We're at a point in the sport where the Silver Series are allowing us to see other players like the Evan Scotts in the world come out and get this win. We've seen Alden Harris, Kyle Klein kind of start up their careers with some Silver Series stuff. But to win an Elite Series that's, a 3 to 4 round event where it's the best of the best competition in the world, I think for a majority of the players, anyone who's not Paul, Ricky, Gannon, Calvin, Eagle, Simon, we can almost look at those players and say that's really surprising that they won. Almost like for AB to go out and win an Elite Series event, it's not surprising in the sense of we didn't think that he could do it. It's surprising that, like, hey, he just beat up on the top 10 players in the world, and AB's arguably a top 10 player in the world right now. And so it's kind of like surprising in the sense of you're playing with the best in the world. Now, a Silver Series event, I think, is definitely a lot different. It's, what seems like a glorified A tier. And I love Silver Series events. I love being able to see new names on coverage, see different people's game styles or play styles, and then seeing new players be showcased. I think it's awesome.
It is awesome. The fact that Brody got brought up, we don't have to continue long into this, but with where the game is going, one, that's impressive to be able to do what he's done. I think he posted, or the Pro Tour posted 3 top 15s, which is a funny number to say, but it's a stat, right? So he had 3 top 15s. And today, that's impressive. I'd like to see it. There was competition there, but I'd like to see that like consistent across like an elite or an elite plus or a major. Like then I'm going, all right.
Yeah.
I'm still impressed. I'm impressed. But I guess where I'm going with this is the farther we go into disc golf, the less likely it is to happen, right? And that's true for a lot of the tenured players even. It's just the field is getting stacked in a new way. These kids that are able to throw so far because they started so young, they watched YouTube, they learned how to do it. It's becoming a different thing.
And you also got to look at it where, let's say Brody's in his 30s. Brody is, towards this part of his career when Evan Scott he's at the beginning of his career and he's already playing extremely well in the tour. And he's, 18 years old. He has so much time in the sport, barring any major injuries, that Brody came into the sport. And he'll say this a lot where he's like, man, I wish I found this earlier. I wish I could compete when my body was a lot healthier. You've seen Brody with the injuries from Ultimate Frisbee, where he's not he is at a disadvantage in a sense for how his body is, but he's done so extremely well to get as good as he's gotten in our sport.
And I'm laughing because someone in the chat, shout out Eric Triplet.
Dude, he's a loyal fan. Shout out Eric. I love Eric.
Okay. I'm laughing because it is so disc golf. He's referring to one of Brody's podcasts that he pointed out a good stat that had said he missed 8 up and downs from inside 200 feet at Portland. If he makes all of those, he would have contended for the win. And I'm laughing because that is so disc golf. The end of every tournament, I go, dang it, I had 3 putts from 20 feet that I missed. Had I hit those, I would have won. Here's the thing. With those stats, they are stats. But you didn't do it.
We're not robots.
You didn't do it. Like that's the stat.
And that's always the thing. Yeah, it's like when you ask anyone how their round went. Yeah, it's like asking anyone how their round went. It's if Matt and I go out and play, it's like, I shot 6 down, but I should have shot 10 down. I missed 2 circle 1 putts, and every single player who's contending for a win at a tournament could say, Aaron Gossage was contending for the win at Portland Open. He missed a 15-foot putt late in that tournament and then missed a circle 1 putt to kind of seal the deal. So, every single player can say that.
To be fair, when it turns, and yes, so that statement that you and I both made is absolutely true. But when it comes to, like, let's just say, like, I missed 8 inside of 20 feet. Let me just say, like, 20 feet, for instance, putter. If I miss 8, I go, come on, that's not like me. Like, let me make 4 of those. I would have been contending for the win. Like, we get the sentiment there. It's like, dang, that is not like you. You probably, should have, would have, whatever. But if it's just like, I don't know. Again, it's an interesting stat. I just wanted to point out because it's so disc golf. That's how we are. Had I only done this. Anyways, okay. I think we've made it. We've made the caller wait forever.
Actually, 9 minutes, 43 seconds to be exact.
Did they hang up?
Nope,
live caller? Can we hear you?
They're here. Oh, you want me to put them in? I changed it so we couldn't hear them. Now we can hear them.
Okay, now we can hear you, live caller. Can we hear you?
Hello?
Oh, hello. We have audio level, Ben. Good job. Okay.
Good job.
Well, what's your name?
Ryan.
Ryan.
RC.
It sounds, I can recognize the sound of the way Ryan's name is said.
Say your name again, Ryan. Let's see if we can get
Ryan Travis.
Oh.
RC Cola in the house.
We are familiar. We are friends.
Yes.
Not quite in our neck of the woods, but in our neck of the woods. We see around Ryan. Okay, so Ryan, you made it through. We're gonna play a game called Better or Worse. Do you hold up your right hand and swear not to cheat?
Yes.
Yes. I love it. Good.
You'll know by how bad I lose.
Oh, this is true. Okay. We just don't want the chat can do this if they want, but to play along, we don't want people to go to the Pro Tour stats. That's all we're saying. Everyone's like, quick, get on Pro Tour stats. Here we go. All you got to do is say if you think this player is better or worse than a standing that I give you. So I'm going to say Disc Golf Pro Tour points standing. So everyone gets points following the completion of a Disc Golf Pro Tour event. Not as many at silver, obviously more at elites, elite pluses, majors, etc. They get lots of points. Nick is feverishly typing. He wants to win. He's muted. So his mute works this time. That's awesome.
I found the actual button because my microphone's still weird. So I'm just gonna mute it the actual way.
After the show last week, we were laughing so hard. The sound of typing. Okay. So here we go, Ryan. I'll put Ben up on the chopping block first. But we're all gonna choose something here. Is Haley King currently better or worse than 10th place on the Disc Golf Pro Tour points standing?
I don't think has she even been playing.
Okay, Haley King. Ben says worse. Ryan, we're gonna make you go second.
I've got to agree. I don't think she's played enough, and I'd say worse.
Worse than 10th. Okay, Nick, what do you think? Better or worse than 10th place?
I would have to assume worse right now.
This is a trick question, isn't it?
If everybody gets it wrong, I get a point.
Okay.
Look how proud I am of myself. She is currently, does anybody want to guess now that you know?
You're going to say like 8th?
13th.
9th. 9th is what she is currently.
Damn it.
So she was better than 10th place. That's now you see how this game's going to go. So 1 point for me, everyone else 0. Sorry, Ryan. Okay, here we go. Number 2, FPO still. And we're going to start with Ryan this time. Sai Ananda, better or worse than 10th place? Disc Golf Pro Tour points.
Better. Has to be better.
This
Last
is
one
Ryan.
was a trick question,
Ryan,
but I got to go better.
Okay, Ryan is saying better than 10th place. He has to say that because she's playing well, right? Okay, Ben. Or Nick. Sorry, Nick.
Better.
Better and Ben.
Better. She seems to be doing a lot better.
I like how you just followed up with she seems to be.
Yeah.
Because I get another point. Thank you, gentlemen.
Jeez,
she is doing worse. She is 12th. Yeah, I picked.
How is Haley King in 9th? That doesn't make sense to me.
I hope I did this correct. I should go back and double check this. Now that you're making me question.
No, you might be right. I don't even think Haley King's been playing unless I just have been living under a rock.
Okay, hold on. I'm just recycling just to make sure. Yes, Haley King was 9th. Sai Ananda is 12th. Okay, good. 2 points for me. Here we go. Another FPO player. We're going right to Nick with this one. Paige Pierce, better or worse than 10th?
Better.
Better.
This one can't be a trick question.
We go over to Ben.
Better. This one can't be a trick question.
And we're going to Ryan, 3rd.
I'm going to be the least favorite person in the world, and I'm going to say worse.
Worse. Are you doing the Steve Falco rule? You're just going for points now, right?
Dude, we haven't seen Steve Falco.
Okay.
We can't get smoked by you, Matt.
That's right. Well, yeah, this is true. I'm running away with it.
Yeah.
He's like, so you're teaming up. I see. You let them pick, you pick the other. You're going to get some points. Okay. Paige Pierce is doing or is worse than 10th place. Any guesses for a bonus point, Ryan? What place she is?
16th.
16th. No bonus points. Good guess. She is 14th.
What? In DGPT?
I know. It's crazy.
Bro, you have bamboozled us.
It is crazy. I thought this game would be totally awesome because of that. And for once, like you did to me with the silver events.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I did horrible. I was like, revenge. All right, here we go.
I literally just got none of those.
It's okay. That's how I felt with silver events, but I think this is harder. Okay, here we go. We're changing up the plays. I've said 10th for the top, these last three. Now we're going to change the number system up here, but I'm going to say Missy Gannon. And we're going to, I think it's going to be Ben. And is Missy Gannon better or worse than 6th place?
6th? How you going to 6? All right.
I had to pick a number. That's tough.
I think she's worse. I think you're trying to bamboozle me again, so I'm going worse.
Bamboozle. Ryan, you're up.
Yeah, I think I've only seen her once this year. I feel like worse.
Okay, worse. Nick, what do you think?
I have nothing to lose. I'm going to say better.
You guys have figured out the game. You're like, someone gets points. All right. The answer is better. And Nick, for bonus points, what do you think she is for a place?
6th. Wait, did you say if she's better than 6th?
Better or worse than 6th? It would not be 6th.
All right, so 5th.
Okay, it is not 5th. It is
4th.
Missy Gannon, 4th. Paige Pierce, 14th.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay.
Wow.
So Nick has a point. Ryan has a point. I have 2 points. Here we go. Last FPO player. Better or worse than 6th? Again. Cat merch. Going to Ryan.
Oh, I love Cat.
Oh. Every one of these is a trick question, but I got to go better.
He goes better. Let's go to Nick.
Better. Oh, God. Better.
Going to intern Ben.
I am 0 for 0, so I'm gonna go better because I like Cat.
I thought you were gonna make I'm gonna go worse. The answer is worse.
Because she's in 6th.
Nope. Better or worse than 6th? So she is 7th.
That's exactly. I was like, she's gonna be 7th or 8th right now, but
Well,
I don't know. I thought with the
she would have
2
had to have been
wins-
5th. She would have had to have been 5th or top 3, which would have been impressive. But with those wins,
I mean, she's playing great. Yeah.
All right. How you feeling, Ryan? You ready to go over to MPO?
Points make no sense, but let's go.
Points make no sense.
I have 0. That's what I can tell you.
I have 1.
Nick has 1. Ryan has 1.
I can tell you.
You guys need to get the bonus points here. I'm gonna definitely put them up here. Yeah, points are free. They don't mean anything. When I used to go to a summer camp as a kid, they'd be like, for 1 million points, who can eat the blended cafeteria food?
Ew.
Million
Up
points.
at Word of Life.
Yeah. 1 million points. I'll do anything.
Oh, it brings back such good memories though, because I can totally picture exactly what's going on right now.
It's for 1 million points. Okay. All right.
For the red team.
So for 1 point, everybody. Actually, I should just make it 1 million and make it more exciting. Simon Lizotte. Simon, if you're listening, what do you think? Better or worse than 10th place? How many wins does he have? 1?
1.
And he missed Waco. That's all I know.
You guys are getting thrown off because you're like, is Matt trying to throw us off, or is this
I'm gonna say worse.
Okay, Nick's starting it out. Worse. Let's go to intern Ben.
I'm gonna say better. I think he stopped then. Oh
no, it's better than 10th or worse than 10th. So you think better? You think he's 9th?
I'm gonna say better. I'm just gonna
Okay, Ryan, what do you think?
Worse.
Okay, the answer is worse. So Nick and Ryan, what do you think?
I'll go first. I think he's in 14th right now.
Okay, Ryan, what do you think?
13th.
The answer is 13th. Ryan gets 2 points.
Wow. Good job, RC.
For 1 million
Nick.
points.
His nickname's RC Cola.
Okay. So now Ryan is tied with myself. 3 points to 3 me, and Nick has 2. All right.
Dose.
Here we go. Next MPO question. We'll start with Ryan. Paul McBeth, better or worse than 10th?
Worse.
He said it so
He's
disgusted.
sad.
Yeah, worse.
I'm on
Like, why would you make me say
sad.
that?
Yeah.
Why would you make me say that, bro?
Yeah.
All right, Ryan, we're going to Nick.
Dude, it might be worse, but I kind of don't want to say worse. I'm thinking, and I'm just trying to think of turn-ins in my head right now, but
The chat's all coming in.
Simon's
worse.
got the win, but let's go better.
Better than 10th.
All right, I'm going worse. I got a point. Thank you.
All right. The answer is worse.
Yes.
And
First
now
point.
you got to say, what do you think, Ben? Where are you picking Paul to be? And then we'll go to Ryan.
15.
Okay. 15th. Ryan, you can pick the same number or different.
Let's go 18.
Both of you are close, but no. It was 17th. Very close, Ryan. 17th. Paul is 17th. Paige Pierce is 14th. What are we doing in the disc golf world?
It's crazy.
All right. Points don't mean everything, obviously, but they're a pretty good indicator of how you're performing on the pro tour. Okay. Let's go another one here. Aaron Gossage. Ooh.
Goose.
Better or worse than 10th?
Better.
Okay, Nick says better. Ryan.
Yeah, better.
Better. Ben.
Yeah, better.
Points for me.
No way.
Wow. Is he actually worse?
Yeah. It's
Dude,
so
we
crazy.
suck at this.
It's so crazy. I'm gonna have to go back.
Points.
And
If
look
he
at
did like world
We need
rankings,
to-
I could know. I would know.
We need to clip this out or tell Evan to start listening at, the hour and a half mark and have him do this game.
Oh, right. Answer. Yeah. See how he does.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting. I'm loading it up just so I can read out real quick. He's 11th. I'll just give you his places. 20th at LVC. 45th at Waco. This is recency bias, Nick. We've talked about this before.
Yeah.
25th
No,
at
you're right.
Open at Austin. 8th at Texas State. 17th at Music City. 57th at Champions Cup. 23rd at Jonesboro. And then most recently, 3rd, 7th, 2nd. That's why we're thinking like, oh, it's got to be way higher. But 11th place to Aaron Gossage. All right. We actually have 4 more MPO to go.
Sheesh.
Ezra Aderhold, better or worse than 10th? We're putting Ryan up.
Better.
Better than 10th. All right, Nick.
Better.
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 Ben.
Better.
Better. This is the first time we've done it. Ladies and gentlemen, they've all answered correctly.
Yes.
They each get
Star
a
for him.
point. They each get a point, but we're going to go, what position is he out of better than 10th?
7th.
Ben says 7th.
I'm going to
8.
go.
Ryan says 8.
Damn it, Ryan said 8.
You can say 8. The numbers are free. Like
Nope, that's no fun.
Steve Falco.
He's 5th place.
5th place. Hot. All right. Ezra Aderhold is better, but he is only 9th. Nobody said 9th, right? No.
Yeah.
Okay. So what are the points, Nick? You have 3?
I have 3.
I have 2.
Ben has 2.
Come back.
And Ryan has 4. Is that correct? I think so.
I don't know. I
And
had
Matt
3 or
has-
4.
I think Ryan's winning.
No,
Matt
you
has
got
4.
3.
No, because he was tied with me at 3.
Just
He just
kidding.
got
I
that
don't
right.
know.
4th.
Yeah.
4. Okay. 3 left. I need to stump you. So here we go. Kyle Klein. Better or worse than 10th?
Recency.
Worse.
Worse.
Better. Come on. I got a point there.
Ben
Let's
says
go.
better.
I got a point there.
The answer is better.
Yes.
Okay, so intern Ben,
3.
what number? 3rd place? No.
Oh, 8th.
I was just saying.
Did you just look over my shoulder?
No.
8th place. So you just got
Yes.
2 points.
All right, I'm tied with RC.
What do you have? 4?
Yeah.
Okay. I have 3. Nick
Come
has
back.
3.
I came back.
Ryan has 4. Ben has 4. 2 more. Eagle McMahon.
Oh.
Better or worse than 5th place?
But 5th.
You're like, this is
Holy
easy.
Guac and cheese.
Why not go worse?
I'm going better.
I kind of want to say better just for fun, but that can't be right. So I'm gonna go
But
worse.
Matt's been picking these tricky tricksters.
What are you saying, Nick?
Worse.
All right. So Ryan and Nick said worse. Ben said better.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm laughing because, Ben, that's pretty funny. It is worse. Nick,
Darn.
what do you think?
He's in 7th place.
Okay, Ryan,
11th.
11th. Nick, you were the closest. It was 6th place. Eagle is 6th place on the point standings. Incredible. All right. Last one. Better or worse than 5th for Isaac Robinson?
Better.
Okay. Better. Let's go to Ryan.
Better.
Better and Ben.
Well, I'm gonna have to Steve Falkowitz, right? I need a chance to
Hold
win.
on. Let me just double check the points. Nick, you now
Ryan's-
have 4.
I have 4. Ryan's got 5. Ben's got 4.
That's right. So Ryan.
He said worse.
Oh, sorry.
I'm
He said
better.
worse.
He said better.
And
Sorry.
Ben, what'd you say?
I would say better, but I'm Steve Falkowitz and I'm going worse.
Because you're like, I need to win.
I need this point.
It's all or nothing. The answer is he is better. Nick, I think your only chance at winning. Wait, can you? So you technically now have 5. He has 6.
He could guess.
So if you get the number right, you can tie
And
him
Ryan doesn't.
if Ryan gets it wrong. So both of you think of a number. Gentleman's honor, you will not change it. Tell me when you're ready.
I put mine in the chat.
Oh, there you go. Ryan, I can see the number.
He
Nick
did.
can see it now. Nick, what do you say?
3rd.
Oh, Nick read the chat.
No, I didn't read the chat, but I
Ryan-
wanted to say 4th because I figured Ryan probably said 3rd as well.
Ryan and Nick both answered 3.
Yeah,
The answer is
it's gonna be the 4th.
3.
Oh,
No
I don't
way.
feel
So
like
Nick
that
gets
now.
7. I mean, Nick gets 6. And Ryan, our live game caller, gets 7 points and wins. We got to think of something to get him. Maybe something from Discura.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
It's the new polo.
he's on the
I know.
team.
That's
So
why I'm joking. That's why I'm
Yeah.
joking. He's like, I don't need Discura.
Yeah.
We'll think of something to ship him. Intern Ben, when we leave here, we'll pack something up.
We have a towel? Do we have a towel? No.
Oh, there's lots of
Jerky?
those. We'll give him lots.
Oh, we can give him a hat. We have
We've got a lot of
hats.
stuff. A lot of stuff. All right,
Or
Ryan.
a limited edition comic. No, I'm kidding.
Thank you. No. Ryan, thank you so much for listening so regularly. We see you in the chat. Thanks for playing this game. Hope you had a good time. Anything you want to shout out before you go?
I just want to say thanks for having me on, and we'll see you guys soon.
Yeah, for sure. All
Take
right,
it easy,
man.
bud.
Have a good one.
Yep, see you guys.
Give him the cool
See ya.
music. That. All right. Well, I think that kind of brings us to the end. That brings us to the end. Last week we had a little bit of a long show.
I
This
have
week we're having a little bit of a short show.
Yeah, but I got 2 shout outs to go through
Do
really
it.
quick.
Me
One of
too.
my favorite people in all of disc golf, Kale Leveska, winning the Majestic, and one of my really good buddies also in disc golf, Casey White, getting 2nd place. It was a battle literally until the 27th hole of the 2nd round, and it was super awesome to just casually watch the live scoring. So shout out to them too, because that's awesome. And then we had the United States Amateur Disc Golf Championships this past weekend, which is an amateur major, and Ryan Mulder won it, and he won it by 7, which is
Yeah.
pretty filthy. But anyways, just want to shout him out because this past weekend of disc golf was just tournaments on tournaments on tournaments, and it's just been insane to watch.
We had Casey White on as a guest host in studio, and I think
Yeah.
it might have been while you were out, Nick, right?
Yeah. Yep.
And people raved over him on
They
our show.
loved
They were
him.
like, "Oh,
He's
man,
awesome."
man." And
Casey-
he would have
yeah.
been on. He would have been on right away again, but
Yeah.
he was traveling and whatever.
Can I give a quick shout
Casey-
out too?
Yeah.
Oh, well, real quick. So I'm running a buy sell trade at Maple Hill this Sunday, June 18th from 10 to 4.
What is a buy sell trade?
So basically, it's a buy sell trade is you just set up. It's not like my expo.
a yard sale.
Yeah, it's basically a yard sale. You set up, you bring whatever you want disc golf related. If you want to bring your like old blender or whatever, I don't care. And it's at Maple Hill. We have 15 vendors so far. It's $25 event. That's 100% going to Project Semicolon in honor of Abel Virgil. So 100% of the vendor fee is being donated. I'm doing this for free, and I would like to see at least 15 more people join so we can donate more.
Can they show up day of?
You can show up day of if you want to event. It's also free for you to attend, and you can keep whatever profits you make. The only thing that's guaranteed to be donated from the Northeast Disc Golf Expo is the vendor fee. Like I said, we're just doing that because it's just to raise awareness. It's a fundraising type day, and it's a day to get the disc golf community, involved and offload some old plastic
Yeah, it's a good cause.
this Sunday.
We talk about, the passing of friends who were going through dark times, and we were always like, man, had we only known, what could we have done? And I knew Abel as a friend in the local disc golf scene, and we saw it rock the disc golf world again a few months ago, or not even a few months ago, in the last 4 weeks. This is a way to do something to contribute. It may not be directly to an individual you know, but it benefits directly individuals you know who need the help. So leave it to the professionals in a lot of ways, but be that friend. You know what I'm trying to say. Yeah. So it's a great cause. It is a great cause. Yep.
And
everyone can benefit from being reached out to. So reach out to your friends whenever you get the chance. No one would think anything less of being reached out to.
No, in all seriousness, you know, I've been transparent on the show before. I've had a card in my wallet that was a hotline for when you need help. Mm-hmm. I had it in there. Does that make me, you know, a depressed, bad person? No, because people need help. You never know when they need help. And it was not a bad thing to have that I could call free, have access to anything that I needed access to for that help. And I think that is fantastic. That's a lot of what this Project Semicolon does.
Yes.
It's benefiting a friend of ours, of course, after his life, but it goes to benefit those that would be in a similar situation to him. So help out that cause, but have a good time with what Ben's doing. I would be there. Absolutely. It's
Father's Day. Yeah.
But tough. I'm out of the state. Yeah. It's actually like, I'm bummed because like, you know, all the stuff I could sell.
You have, yeah.
I was thinking I could just like give someone like a commission to sell my stuff.
You got it. Oh,
it's not a bad idea.
Maybe me.
I'll just give you like boxes of stuff to sell. You just sell them at like cheap prices.
Yeah, right.
All right. Anything else, Nick?
No, I think that's it. But we got a packed month of June for disc golf. Going to be incredible. DDO is coming up this weekend. We got to make DDO picks.
Wait, we should check
Ricky Wysocki.
No, we need to check the roster. Ricky's playing because me and Matt picked Ezra and Isaac Robinson for the last Zootown, and they both did not play.
Yeah. So make your pick and I'll verify for you if you want. But I'm saying Ricky Wysocki.
I'll go Ezra again. If he's
8-hole?
Yeah, I'll go Ezra again.
He's playing.
He's registered.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yep. Who are you going FBO?
This is hard. Cat merch.
Ooh, big time. All right, I'm going. Dude, I might pick it until he gets one, but man, Anthony Barella, he plays extremely well here. If he puts all the rounds together, I think he has a great chance of taking it down. AB, and my obvious pick, Kristen Tatar by a mile.
Yep, Ricky and Kristen. I hope you're keeping track. I think I got points with Kristen last week.
Yeah. Anyways,
I finally picked
it's
her.
hard to keep track. We picked people that have them in the field. It's like
0 points.
Crazy.
0 points. I picked Ricky and Kristen.
0 points is good in our system.
Oh, so 100 points. Ricky and Kristen for me. All right, close us out, Nick.
Anyways, thank you everybody for tuning in.
Evan, not Evan Scott.
Yep, missed you, Evan.
Evan's in the chat.
No, he's not.
Yeah, he is.
What?
Oh, is he? Oh, yeah, he is. He goes Aaron Gossage and Kristen Tatar.
All right.
Evan, big shout out, Statmando. You got to play the game that we played just a little bit ago. But everybody, thank you for tuning in on this wonderful Monday night. Can't wait to hang out with all you guys this month of June. We got an action-packed month of disc golf. We say it every single week, and we truly mean it. Tell someone you love them. We love you guys. We are so appreciative of all you guys. Reach out to your friends this week. Tell them you love them. We'll catch you next week.
I really hope that Evan's like sitting on the toilet alone in the bathroom or something. And I know
no
it's
one
weird
knows
to
where
say,
he's on honeymooning.
But there's that. But also he's just married. He better be with his wife or something. But like he's like, I'm in the bathroom, bro.
My guess is he just went to like Vermont. That's my guess where he went honeymooning.
All right, let's close it out. You're awesome, Ben. Evan, you're awesome wherever you are. Nick, you're awesome. Peace out, everybody.
Peace.
The Nick and Matt Show, a disc golf podcast designed for you, the disc golfer. Find the Nick and Matt Show on your favorite podcast platforms or join the conversation live on YouTube.